your face.
Hi. How are you,
God.
Maron?
Oh, good, thank you. How are you? Good morning.
I'm good. Good morning to you. I'm good. Just setting the camera right. There you go.
Where are you now? I don't know. Italy? You back in Italy or?
Yes, I'm in Sicily at the moment. That's my where my home is.
Sicily. Oh, that's so nice.
Yeah.
So lovely. Yes. That's so lovely. Oh my gosh, thank you so much for doing this with me. I don't even know if this works. My partner gave me this mic. I don't know.
Wow. Yeah,
I know.
thank you for having me.
You're very welcome.
I can hear you very well. So
that's good. That's good. All right. Well, I'll just leave it on. I have no idea. I don't know.
Yeah. No, it's perfect.
You know, I didn't plan anything for this because I felt like I shouldn't, not with you, because it's always a space of like where it flows, intuition.
Yes.
It's a different space. It's a different space.
Let's flow it. Let's flow.
I should have done this and all that. But something was blocking me to do that. And I just thought, let's see where it goes. I'm so excited. And thanks for being my first interview.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, this is going to be great. You know, the thing is, when Bart told me about Reiki, I didn't want to do, I wanted to do it, but for some reason I felt nervous to do it. Like, just usually I like to do all sorts of self-help to help myself heal, and I'm open. And I would say yes, but not yet. And he'd ask again, and he'd ask again, and then he'd ask again. And then the fourth or fifth time, it's like there must be a reason why he's so persistent beyond you know, just him being persistent and wanting to help. And I said, well, I'm just going through a lot right now. My grandma passed away, so now's definitely not the time. And he said, actually, maybe now actually is the time more than ever. And I thought, interesting.
Wow,
okay,
amazing.
Let's go for it. And I didn't know what to expect at all. So it's been amazing, an incredible journey that has turned my life upside down, but in a good way. I know it sounds, if I tell people, oh, Reiki's, you know, it really does just, it's like a volcano and then you open like the crack and then you fall in and everything. It feels like that, but it's for your greater good. I felt, you know, to give you those opportunities to ascend to the next level, and brings those obstacles that maybe you never would have come across. It just really, you've asked, it's like you've asked for this.
Yes.
Here it is. What are you going to do with it? So it's been amazing. And I would like to know so many things. Firstly, if for somebody who doesn't know what Reiki is, who's never heard of Reiki, how would you describe that to somebody who, you know, might benefit from it, but they're not sure what it is?
Yes, well, first of all, I'd like to say that you've been incredible in your journey. I mean, you came to me with the intention, you knew already where to work on and how to do it. And I think, to my experience, that is a main point, you know, when you say like, hey, Reiki opens, you know, everything for you, but actually Reiki does show you the way, but it's the person that needs to be ready, you know, needs to be open to receive it. And yeah, you had such an incredible benefit coming out of it, because this you know, you were ready to go that step deep into the journey. So yeah, but incredible.
Thank you.
But I mean, generally, if well, now you've experienced the energy, actually you experienced both of the energy, didn't you? Because you done some angelic Reiki as well as the Holy Fire.
Yes.
Maybe we can talk a little bit about the differences as well. I'd like to know how you experience the two of them. Yeah, I mean, generally speaking, for anyone that has not had Reiki yet, Reiki is God's wisdom, it's universal energy, it's life force energy. That is what we are the channel of it. So we channel the energy in order for the body to rebalance. And then the body can go ahead and do its own healing. It's very important to say that, you know, Reiki does not heal you. Well, it's not directly. What it does is bring you back to balance. wherever is needed. It works on many levels: the physical, the energetic, the emotional body, the spiritual as well. Yeah.
Amazing.
So yeah, I think it's, again, depend on the person and their level of openness to to go to the next step, to experience, what else is that I need to see in order for me to look at this, this challenge in my life.
This is it, the readiness to be open. I wasn't even aware I was, but I must have been on a deeper level, but it's being connected to that.
Yes, I mean, you were unconsciously, you were, hence why, to my belief, Bart came to you and he not only suggested, he insisted about it.
Yeah.
Which basically, these are the signs that the universe, our guides of higher self is sending all the time. It's then our minds and our physical body, and it's like, doubts. I'm not certain, what is this? I don't want to do it. But then again, you get the sign. So it's about, again, opening up to, hang on, he's insisting. There must be a reason there why. Let's just go for it. And that's what you did.
That's the openness.
Yes.
How long ago did you start Reiki, and how did it begin for you, your journey? How did it begin for you to get into Reiki?
Well, I think my journey with Reiki is been more than a lifetime, more than this lifetime. Yeah, I think I believe in past lives. I believe in the soul journey of coming back, have this experience once again. Yeah. So I feel I've practiced Reiki before. In this life, when I was in Italy, before I went to London when I was 18 years old. But a long time before then, I came across a Reiki booklet. And I read about it, and obviously I was interested, but I made nothing out of it. Completely forgotten about it. And then down the line, I was in London working in a health food store. And my colleague came to me, and she looked at me and she's like, you will receive Reiki. I was like, Reiki? Okay, what is that? I completely forgot about it. And so with her, we started the journey. She became my mentor, and she taught me and transmitted to me Usui Reiki, which is the traditional method of Reiki. Reiki is not only taught, it's also channeled to you by someone else, by a Reiki master. So I received all the levels, and then then there was a time in my life where, like you, the signs with Bart keep insisting, I would see angels everywhere. And I would go so attracted to this topic, out of the blue. I was like, oh my God, everything angelic I love. And I see signs and I see clouds into shapes, all of that. And then one day I came to know there's this other system of healing calling Angelic Reiki. And of course, at that point, I was very like, I'm going to go for it and receive this. So I went and I received it.
Oh, right. Yeah. That was your first, basically. That was your first receiving the Angelic Reiki.
For the Angelic, yes. I've already received the Usui and Holy Fire. We can talk about the differences if you like. And then I received Angelic. There's levels as well. So for Usui Reiki or Karuna Reiki, which is another traditional method of Reiki, which I think it has some resemblance with the Tibetan. They have different symbols and So for them, there's 3 levels: level 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
In level 1, you receive the energy, the Reiki, and you can do self-healing and healing to family and friends, people that are close to you. With level 2, you can do distance healing because they attune you to some symbols that you can draw and send the energy distant, like we've been doing.
They, as in the angels, the energy.
No, this is the Usui, the traditional Reiki.
Okay.
Yeah. And then with level 3, you are master Reiki healer, which just means basically you can transfer the energy and teach Reiki to others, as well as doing the distance.
But how do you go? So you said level 1 is when you can do it with your friends and family. And then how do you get to that next level? How do you become that much stronger in your Reiki healing to reach the next level? What's the difference?
Well, what you do with Reiki is you actually receive the Reiki energy. It's been you are attuned to the energy.
Okay.
So first they attune you to the so-called the level 1, which is you just receive Reiki and you can then, sense it and you can start giving to others. And it's very important that you also do self-healing. But with the level 2, again, you get a different attunement. So you receive the symbols, which you also, learn how to draw and all. But then the Reiki energy is then to the level that can cross time and space. It can be sent. So like I'm doing with you, all my clients are actually not where I live. Yeah. So I use the symbols to connect to the energy field. Yeah. And with the angelic is pretty much the same, I believe. There is a level 1 and 2 and a 3 and 4. Actually, no, with the angelic level 1 and 2, you can do the distant healing with that first and second level. And 3 and 4, you can do distant healing and teach others. It's just we are talking energetically.
Yeah, this is it.
So
yeah. So it's like a different. You have to basically when we talk about such things, it's like you're talking with your heart, not your mind. Mind is going to be like, what's that? Exactly. What do you mean? Exactly. Receive from who? And then you just it's just exactly. Sometimes there's no words between the two. Where time and space doesn't exist and where we're existing, it's just sometimes there's a language you just can't, but you can feel it. You can understand with like this inner hearing, not this hearing or this mind. It's like an inner mind.
Exactly.
That's how I feel. Yeah. So with your one, you do angelic Reiki and holy fire. Only those two, or do you do other ones? But those ones.
No, for Reiki, I only do these two. What happened is I want to clarify a little bit between the Usui method and the holy fire. Because the holy fire is really recent. He came to this planet, let's say, only like 2-3 years ago, in 2018, 2 years ago. So what happened with Reiki is actually pretty simple. So from the prospect of energy, and everything is energy and we are energy, Reiki to me is just a way to channel this energy, which is pure source energy, therefore, whatever you want to call it, God's wisdom or universal energy. So it's a way for us to channel and utilize this energy into the physical or emotional bodies or, mental bodies. Yeah. But as is an energy, it has been evolved with the times, just like we are evolving, just like the planet is ascending. I don't know if you heard about ascensions. It's a very big thing at the moment, 5Ds, and all of that.
No, I just like the word ascension. Something about it. I just love that word.
Ascension.
Volumes, growth, growing, expanding, fullness. I love it.
Well, some people actually call it descendants because we are souls before we are physical bodies. Souls is eternal. And as a soul, when we descend into the physical body, we just don't remember our journey. And then as we experience life with, the physicality, therefore, body problems, I don't want to call it disease, illness or imbalances. Yes. As we experience life that way, then we awake, we wake up to the truth that we are, that truly we are light beings, we are amazing creators. We are in charge of our own lives. And this is just a transcend. This experience is only transcend. It's for us to experience physicality, pain, emotions, loss and all of that is happening in this
Everything
planet.
that means being human.
Yeah, exactly. And Reiki, I believe, is always been present as an energy in this planet, always, since, since before we could remember, since we were, different, if you believe in Lemurian and Atlantis times, when we were a little bit more awake and we use our gifts. I think Reiki was present there. Maybe it didn't have the name Reiki, because it was only in 1920 where this scholar from the name of Usui Mikaho had this download, received this energy from source directly, and then he put into a practice so he could teach others, and spread it. So he had to put into a practice, you have to give, let's say, a structure. So he created the hands positions, he created a daily practice, he made it into a thing. He created Reiki.
Around the 1920s.
But really, 1920s.
Wow.
But really, Reiki has always been available, it's in the hands of everyone. When they say to you, your hands are electromagnetic, our body is electromagnetics. And when you're in pain, all you do instinctively, what do? You just put your hands where you are in pain, right? It's like giving yourself comfort, and it's like channeling this love, which it's the energy around us, is what we are. Yeah,
we don't
I like to think that
you because it's interesting because you could get so. I'm quite spiritual, and I feel like I just intuitively go through life with my heart. I rarely I use my mind mostly, but I think I'm more heart when I'm in this world. When I'm in this world, where else am I? I don't know why. I think I'm on another planet, honestly. But in this world, I'm quite intuitively going through things. So it's I think a lot of people might when you say you've got the energetic in your hands and you can just put, sort of heal yourself or self-soothe, or it shows you we have that power. We're always looking for something else to help us. The medicine,
exactly.
The doctor, the other. No, I don't think that it comes to people's minds to think I have the energy and the power within me to do something about my life or about this whatever I'm feeling. It's magical, it's amazing, and it makes you feel so powerful, but not in ego way, but just like an amazing being. Even just that thought, it just made me feel better. Oh my gosh, it's in my hands.
Of course,
power is in your hands.
It is. Yeah. Well, yeah, it is. It's all about the power of intention, and it has to come from the heart, exactly as you said. It's never from the mind. The mind has, the thoughts which coming from, old beliefs, old patterns that have been transferred into you from family, from society. Is never clear as such. Your heart is the connection to the divine. Definitely.
I think a lot of people live from here, though, isn't it? I mean, majority.
Of course they do. Yeah, of course. They do.
Yeah. And I read somewhere that it said the longest journey that you'll ever take is from your mind to your heart. Like this journey, just obviously for anyone be like, well, it's just there and there. There you go, you've done it. But it's a journey, like a lifetime, just to get from move from that analytical mind to the depths of you, to your heart space. That's why I love talking to you, people who live from that heart space, because I feel like I'm surrounded by a lot of people that live from the mind space, so I can be talking, but it's like a different languages. Let's say I'm in conflict with someone, let's say family, and I'm speaking to them trying to resolve it. I just don't know how to even communicate it because I'm not battling it from here, or I'm not even in a battle. I'm just trying to speak with them from my heart, but it's so hard to speak from your heart to somebody who hasn't reached, who doesn't maybe even understand what that means. What do you mean? What does that then you're crazy. You just seem like a crazy person to them. What do you mean speaking from your heart? What do you mean you can't believe your thoughts? what do you mean your thoughts aren't real? You know, if you told people who are analytical minded that your thoughts aren't real, you're not supposed to really believe all your thoughts. Can you imagine how they would react to that? So this is what I'm trying to just this is what I love about Reiki and love being in this space, is we're talking soul to soul, heart to heart. And it's so difficult in this world that is so fixed, so material, so matter.
Exactly.
Do you feel you tell me.
Well, there is you made a good point there. It is difficult to connect heart to heart when someone else's heart isn't ready, isn't that open. But the beauty of it is that, energetically speaking, if you've been sincere, if you've been embody your own truth, and if you're speaking from your heart, then energetically the higher self of the person will receive that message pure the way you want to send it. Even though the physical, the person, there's, we have an higher self, which is like the awakened part of us, let's say. And the higher self always receive the messages around it. And the thing is, sometimes there's a disconnection between the person and his own higher self, because the person's never tried to connect, never know this thing exists, never know. But you by speaking from your heart, you are connecting. So the way I see it is, I don't connect to the person as I address my wishes to the higher self of the person.
Interesting.
So you are planting a seed. This is big, because the person might know, might like, oh, okay, my sister or cousin is completely out of mind. I don't know. But you're planting a seed in the spiritual side of the person that first, sooner or later, will come to exist, will come out. Sooner or later, will come out, especially in this time. The planet is ascending, Mother Earth is awakening. Yes, the energies are very different. You see what's been up in the past couple of years. This is just purging. This is all has to come out. And because it's collective consciousness, we have somehow created this collectively.
Interesting.
So that we can awaken. And it's been happening big time. So people are more aware of, that part of themselves that they don't want to see. They are.
Have you come across people who are so close that you just couldn't do, maybe you couldn't do Reiki with them, or they're very close? I want to know about the very close people.
Yeah, definitely. They tend to say, no, I don't want it. No, I'm not interested. I don't believe in that. I don't need it.
Me.
And that's fine. For me, that's been a journey on his own. Really, really trusting that it's fine. I must respect their journey. And if they're not ready yet, I'm just like, great, fine,
the journey. I like that. That's a nice way of putting it. Then it doesn't cause conflict. You do my way. This is the way. This is the right way. Do this. That's a really nice way of respecting people's journey. I've reached that level where in my mind, if I feel rather than get upset with people, I just think, okay, maybe somewhere down the line they might learn or understand. And I haven't said the sentence in my mind, I respect their journey, but that's what I do these days. But there are a lot of energies that want to make you do things their way, and then it's like trying to teach them, or how to tell people, no, this is my journey, this is your journey. And they again are coming from that mind space of thinking this way is right. It could be parent to child, or a partner to in a relationship. It's how I just wonder how people communicate in that space when you're of the heart and somebody else is of the mind, and it must happen a lot. I can't be the only person that is
of course
I can't communicate it because they're not at that level. If I explain this to somebody, you know, they wouldn't understand it, that this is my journey, that's your journey, there's no right or wrong, this is just a path that we need to take, you know.
Exactly. Well, and it's happening, and funny enough, it's happening to the people that we care the most. So that's where we are aware more, isn't it? So we want to help them. We see their suffering so much, and we want to help them. You know, we know the tools available, and we rack our brains like, why doesn't want to listen? You know, if he could only, or if she could only take this journey, it would be so much easier for her. But well, you know what? Actually, no, because we don't know what they soul have chose, what experience they soul have chose in this planet at this time, what they came here for. You know that it's actually through pain and suffering most of the time that we experience awakening or healing. So if we were to show up one day and say, oh, I got a solution for you, just have 10 sessions of Reiki and you will be sorted. Well, we're not helping them. Really, we're not. We're not, because their journey might take longer. And they might go through 2 years of more of this pain that we see for them so clearly. Oh, if you could only stop this and do that. But actually, that is the perfect, exact journey they need to go through, so that they will awaken one day at their own pace, with their own soul missions, you know, their own what they supposed to be learning, you know.
But because they're so into, let's say it's dysfunctional, let's say they're a dysfunctional, it could be toxic relationships or dysfunctional people, we could say, that's their journey, let them go on that journey. They don't understand this language. They are in dysfunction, they're in toxic mindsets, and they want you to join their way of thinking, their
I see.
dysfunction.
I see.
But if you say this is my journey and that's your journey, it doesn't mean anything to these types of people. Are they so in their suffering that they're sort of, I don't understand, are they so in their suffering that they I mean, they don't think they're suffering, that's the thing, they think that they're okay and this is right, that they can't, will they I don't want to say ever, but will they be able to, how do you get people, if you're in these kind of situations, to speak with their hearts and let them just either carry on as they are or leave you in your space?
Well, there's a couple of things to this, to my experience. And the first one is, I don't know if you know about the Buddhism and the Buddha, but the Buddha used to use expedients to talk to his disciples. Reason was why? Because the Buddha got awakened in a time in the past where you could not just go on the street and say, oh, by the way, I awakened yesterday, do you want to awaken? The people don't understand.
Yeah, exactly.
So he used to use expedients, which means he used to use their language to get his message across.
Oh, interesting.
So and then the other thing is, which I think is quite deep, is people around us have a function for us as well. So this person that is coming to you with this set of challenges is also challenging you, revealing in your set of challenges. So they teach you a lot. So for example, I I had the same thing what you're talking about. I actually have a current experience about it with a family member, you know, and I've been realizing that actually they teach me a lot is about how do I do I react to them first of all? And if I do not react, then how do I come across, where is that, what I need to learn in order for me to change my approach? And at the end of the day, for me, it's been all about unconditional love. So loving them for what they are, what they do into their life at this moment, without pretending anything. Because the reason that we want to help them is also a little bit egoistic. It's like, I want to help you. I mean, on a way, maybe no, but it's like,
I know what you mean.
What about the only way I can help you is to step away
and love you from afar. Just to
love you, just unconditional love, just be there, holding space for you, but not interfering in any way possible. I mean, this is hard. It's hard to
very hard
to realize that it is hard. But sometimes it's the best thing we can do. Who knows? Maybe this person feels threatened by us going to them and telling them what to do, how to do it, or even just be there for them and listening to them. Maybe they feel like, because they're coming from a different perspective, aren't they? They're coming from defensive because they're hurt, or So perhaps in order to make them feel that we want to help, we need to step back. I mean, this is
within us, I like that, the unconditional love, even if you're hurt, even if people around you are hurting you, because I guess now with the COVID situation, everything, where a lot of people are in a close space with their family or friends or partners, and a lot of things have a lot of maybe arguments, and
it's incredible times.
It's an incredible time where you have to face so many things every day. Every day is its own challenge to just communicate with friends, family, because we're all being impacted. Globally, everyone has been impacted. So, and we are reacting, maybe bleeding out on people from our pain instead of working on ourselves. And there's a lot of just mess, I think, out there. And it's nice you said that you either you communicate with their language, or you take a step and just hold a space of unconditional love. I mean, that is
which is hard.
You reach that, you've reached enlightenment. It's very hard.
It is hard. And also there's
you're hurting too.
There's also the aspect of, what is this person showing me? And also the boundary thing, like, because when you say like they want to throw into you whatever problems, that's another training for us. It's like, all right, are my boundaries set? Are they healthy boundaries? So everything they do, the way they react to us, for me, it's an opportunity to see something within myself that I need to work on. Especially when you react, they seem to bring the worst out of you. Wow, that's a good aspect to look at. It's like, all right, wow, I've reacted to that. So it triggered me so much. Triggers.
It's a trigger.
Why have I been triggered? Yes.
Wow, that's so interesting when you said that, because I think of that too. And I think the first thing you do when you've been triggered is to like shoot, point the gun back and shoot, rather than think, I've been triggered. What is it in me? That is not easy to do. But do you think that with Reiki and going into this type of space, it makes you stronger within yourself to tackle or to be able to handle these types of situations? Does Reiki give you that strength and growth, do you think?
Yes, definitely. On a way, Reiki shows you the path. It's not like it's making you strong. I mean, wording is very important, and we must remember, never give our power away. We are the creators. So Reiki is an energy we use our own benefits. So, for example, with the trigger, you realize you got triggered. So you have two choices. Even just, use the trigger to become angry with your family member and start a fight. Or step back and look within and going, ooh, that's interesting. That specific phrase triggered me. So where does it come from? And it's usually is like a belief that we've been hanging on since childhood that is coming, it's first of all isn't real, like it's not a true divinity. And so when we get confronted by it, we get triggered. So it's like there is an imbalance within a true self and this belief, this thing that doesn't have a truth, it doesn't resonate with their own truth. It's just something that's been told to us for a long time.
Right, yes.
So as you get triggered, the inner work I do is like, I really look at the subject. Where did I get triggered? Why? Ask within, why this phrase got me mad? That he said got me so mad. What is it behind it that triggered the memory or the societal? Sometimes it's got to do with, I don't know, like victimism or
I see what you mean. Yeah.
Loads. It can be anything. Like we have a memory in the past where we used to be shut down, and I don't know if I'm explaining myself.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like the trigger. Yeah.
Where did it, but you have to really go within and take that time to find out. But doing it that way, oh my gosh, it's amazing. Rather than think I've been hurt, all these things are happening to me, everybody hates me and nobody understands me. You're saying, wow, somebody, not wow, obviously not, but in the sense of like an opportunity to look within. You're giving a different perspective instead of saying I'm hurt and I'm this and closing up. You're saying be open and embrace this opportunity that someone has given you. Imagine to think of it in that way instead of being hurt. Where is this coming from? And then looking within and doing that work of figuring it out. That's so interesting because people are mirrors, I guess. The people in your life are mirrors. That's a hard one. I'm pulled with that because there's people in your life you don't want that to be your mirror. You're just thinking, no, what is it in me that's anyway, connected with that person? No, I don't want. I think that's the thing with Reiki is it really does force you so much to look within. You have to do that. It's intuitive. You already know what it is that you need to do intuitively. Maybe not, you might not understand it on this level, but intuitively it already knows your path, like you just said, that you need to take, and the obstacles and the hills to climb and the this and the that. It already knows. So that's what I definitely learned from Reiki, is that there's just so many levels. This is the most interesting part of it. I thought the first time I've done it about 6 times with you, haven't I?
Yes.
First time, oh, this is it. I've uncovered and I've unraveled this. It's done. No. The next time, oh my gosh, another level, and it comes with a whole host of inner working that you have to do, and again. And I just kept thinking, but I'm sure I'm healing and I've done so much work. Why is it so much more? Where does it end? And I guess it probably never ends. It's
well, that's why we chose this planet, right? That's what I always say.
Oh my gosh, it's interesting. It's just there must be people with maybe less work to do, or do we all have the same amount of work to do? Maybe more people are more enlightened, have less inner work to do, or
who knows?
I don't know. I just think, what is this baggage within me? When is it gonna when am I gonna feel like like light and I don't know, just not empty inside, but more simple inside.
Yeah, well, they say healing happens in layers, and it's true. You've been sensing that. But the beauty of it is that every layer you work on, you let go of, is gone forever.
Really?
And then when the next, definitely the inner work you do, it's not gone unseen, you know. But the thing, you know, when sometimes you feel, oh, I think I unraveled this issue and I sorted, and then the next year comes back again. Well, it's a different level of healing, you know. It's a deeper and deeper because you don't inner work on the outer layers. And then the next time when you are ready, because there's always divine timing and things, when you're ready, then you can go deeper into the healing and release another layer. And you know, it might some issue have less layers, or others have none, or others have, you know, a lifetime of working inner work. I mean, there's a joyful aspect of it if you see it that way.
Absolutely.
Then, you know,
absolutely.
Yeah, well, it doesn't have to be a suffering. I mean, ultimately, you are revealing your true nature of divine being. And I like to believe that we are in this planet with a mission. Let's call it that, a mission. So something that we have to offer, which embody our personality and ourselves totally. And by doing that, we achieve joy and love and happiness. And we real, you know, and for me, it's a healing method that is gonna come through for the next few years. And lots of other people have, you know, expressing yourself the way for what you are, so that you comes out from the heart, you're joyful, you love your life. Once you do that thing rather than your 9 to 5, which most people are not happy with. And so you can give to others and to yourself. So that's, for me, is the ultimate goal. Personally, I believe that's why we go through all this healing, these layers, and usually has to do with the physical pain, the physical set of challenges that we come into this life with. We all have it, you know. And it's thanks to that you are doing your inner work. For example, if we talk about you know, thanks to the autoimmune, you decided to embark on this inner journey, and you're clearing the layers. But the autoimmune, if you think about it, is the expedient, you know, it's the excuse for you to do the inner work. It's the excuse for you to.
Why didn't give me another thing? Oh my gosh. You know, no.
I mean, on a soul level, I'm talking I'm always talking on an energetic level. You know, on an energetic level, your soul chose that experience very carefully. She picked it among millions because she knew that you, through that experience, you would have do the work.
That is deep. That is so deep. It's another way of looking at it as well. With autoimmune, you do sort of you suffer a lot, and it's chronic and it's daily. So you just start to, because the person I was before the autoimmune, that's what makes me struggle with it, because I was so energetic, just happy and joyful and adventurous, and it's the energy part that I miss as well. I mean, I'm such an energetic person, and then I just think, why did this illness just come and just turn my life completely upside down, throw me into the valley and in just utter darkness? Because it's just so much just so much that you go through with it, having an autoimmune condition. And I think sometimes I do think, what if I never had the autoimmune? Who I am today is really, I've done so much work over the years. I've had it for 8 years now. I've done so much inner healing, inner work.
I've
gone traveling, for solo traveling. I've done so much of that. I do sometimes think, okay, if I never had this, because there are times I'm thinking, I wish I never had this, obviously. I think that. Then who would I be now? You know?
Exactly.
It's an interesting one, because you don't want to say thank you, autoimmune, for coming into my life, because you don't want an illness, but then if you see it how you've just expressed it, it had to happen for me to be who I am now, and even be next year and 5 years and 10 years. It's been an incredible journey of discovery, self-discovery. That's what autoimmune has been for me. But it's what you're saying is interesting, to change that perspective of things and seeing it as, what is this here to teach me? How am I supposed to grow from this, and doing inner work? It's an opportunity. You said it, that word expedient. It's the expedient. It's an opportunity to do that inner work. But whenever we've done the Reiki, and you've told me, before the Reiki begins, you always say to me, you'll know the intention. You'll know your intention of what, because I don't know what I wanted from the Reiki until you say you will know, and just you say, tell me your intention just before we start. They tell me your intention, and just to let people who are watching this know, so I would book the Reiki a week in advance, and I wouldn't know what I'm doing for that Reiki for. And then I would really like stress sometimes and think, but what do I want if I don't know what I feel? I don't know what I want. I don't know what I need. I don't know. But it comes, that moment, right, Meron, just before the Reiki, what is your intention? It's like, this is my intention. I want to. It's amazing. It's just amazing. I'm just thinking, where did that come from? That inner knowing of what I need. The next time we did it, that knowing of, okay, what the next level is within you. Gosh, you really are, or you have everything you need basically within you. It's just amazing. And I don't know if we've had the chance to explain the difference between the angelic Reiki and the Holy Fire, because I experienced differently with they're very different for me. One is like really a tornado, just boom, life in pieces. But the beauty is when I bring it back together, and then I'm just like this different level of myself. It's amazing. That's Holy Fire for me. Angelic Reiki is more like layered work that I need to do within myself.
Wow, interesting.
But I don't know deep down what is the difference between angelic Reiki and Holy Fire.
Well, I think Reiki is Reiki anyway. But what happens, I'll explain a little bit about the two, especially the Holy Fire, which is a very recent energy. It came about in 2018. It's basically, it's Reiki, Usui, Karuna, whatever technique, let's say, you use, it still is. But the difference is the energy is different. The energy is upgraded to the energies of the planet in these latest few years. As you know, we've been bombarded by new energies, different energy. Yes, we enter in the fifth dimension. We've been on the 3D third dimensions, which has been really physical, duality, me, you, us, them, male, female, and now we're going into the fifth dimension, which is more from the heart. And as we're doing that with our awakening, also the planet is doing the same thing. Which in a position in the universe is like giving birth to a true nature.
Oh, that's a nice, very lovely way of looking at it.
And because of that, Reiki is evolving as well. Reiki cannot be stuck in the past, So the Holy Fire is the evolved, the upgraded, let's say, Reiki energy. It's practiced the same, but the energy is more potent. There is no doubt about it. No doubt. I experienced that on myself when I received the upgrade. So different.
Amazing.
Yeah, the energy comes straight from Source, Mother, Father, God, the Trinity. And you just experience God's love, in this purest form. It's incredible. It's very potent.
It is.
And it brings out hidden, the not healed part of yourself that haven't been,
Exactly.
Yeah, it brings back brings out those things. In terms of yeah, but for me, yeah, well, okay, so the angelic, it's it came in 2002, and it's basically Reiki channeled through the kingdom of light, the angelic kingdom of light. So you're basically using the angels, not from a Catholic Christian point of view. So you're basically using these energies, which are the messengers of God, to connect yourself. So when you do personally, for me as a practitioner, the angelic Reiki, it's more, it makes me more going into deep meditation. And I get more of the connection with the galactic healers, ascended masters, spirits, guides, you know, whatever, your ancestors, the animals, you know. Whereas with Holy Fire, it's still very, it's highly dimensional, but it feels more grounded into the physical/mental body. For me personally, the energy is very profound. I do get some insight, but not as much as I do when I do angelic Reiki. That is the difference for me.
Oh, I see. Yeah, it's interesting to see from your perspective, because you, after the Reiki session, you give me so much. With the angelic one, I think that's the one that you give me
exactly
right, and you let me know this is what this is and this is what this is. I see. So it's different for you. It's incredible, and I think it's so amazing that you always, after the session, you always write what I felt. Like you say, I felt somebody crying, or I felt it's just amazing. It just, my mind cannot well, it's not for the mind space anyway, but it's interesting because I'm just like, yeah, I was crying, you know, and you're all away in another country. It just shows you how there is no time and space with energy. It's just so connected and just so an amazing space to be in. It's so wonderful. It's been such an incredible journey. I'm so grateful that Bart I just can't imagine who I would be right now if I didn't go through this journey of Reiki. You know, I've grown so much since we've started. It's been so incredible. A question for you now is, with all the I think you've had an incredible journey. I mean, separately, I would love to I could talk to you for a long time and but it's just amazing. I could just imagine what your journey has been like. What do you think your younger 8-year-old self would tell you? What advice would your younger 8-year-old self tell you today?
Oh, advice. The younger to me?
Self. Yeah, your younger 8-year-old self. From where you were then to how you are now. Yeah.
That's a tricky one.
One piece of advice.
Yeah, perhaps would be to keep the ingenuity, you know, keep that pureness of art that I had when I was 8, you know, that we all had when we were 8 years old. We were just so open. And I went through the journey of closing my heart completely. And so that I could open it again, you know, I could do the journey of opening it, which is a long one.
Yeah.
So yeah, the 8 years old me would have said, just keep your heart open.
I like that. I like that. Me too. I get what you mean too. That would have been a good one. That I think for me is just basically never stop not playing that sort of childlike energy. Don't let go of that childlike energy. Because I think that's where, for me, it's adventure, wonder, excitement. Seeing the world through like a child's eyes is really amazing. No, don't lose that. For me, I think it is. What do you think your 80-year-old self will tell you now? You don't, I mean, you're not 80 obviously, but what do you think 80-year-old self will tell you now as advice, one piece of advice?
if my 8 years old will come back from the future.
Yeah. What do you think? Yeah.
Well, I like to believe that at 8 years old, I've already, at least practicing my method, which is coming to fruition. I can feel it. So the 8 years old would just come in and say, you know what? Oh yeah, that's the message you tell me. It will tell me there is nothing to worry because everything is going exactly the way it should be.
Me too.
Yes.
Thank you.
It'd be like,
yeah, this is
don't worry.
If only
do the hard work.
Exactly. If I can just listen to that every day and just stop with the worrying. Yeah, it's interesting. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's been incredible. Thank you so much, Pina. This has been amazing.
Thank you for the opportunity.